All right, welcome in. It's Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop, live with you each and every weekday morning here for the Center Square as I focus on Illinois. As the Illinois editor, you can go to thecentersquare.com, find all the headlines, not just from Illinois. You can go beyond and see what's going on in Texas, how that interacts with Illinois, but also national headlines as well. So again, go to thecentersquare.com where you can sign up for the newsletter, get that in your inbox each and every weekday morning. It's free, and you'll get the headlines, links to podcasts and video clips and more. Check out the quick hits, for instance, quick digestible bites that'll let you know what's going on, including Congressman Darren LaHood. He is not going to seek the office of governor. He instead is going to be seeking re-election to Congress, so that's something you can see there. You can also read about the pension issue in Chicago that's impacting it via the credit rating agency S&P. So you can see all of that and more. Again, go to thecentersquare.com and sign up for that newsletter. And while you're there, if you are feeling generous, you can donate as well. But again, you can wake up with us here each and every weekday morning as we go live to break things down for what's going on in Illinois. One segment today, and it's I think this is the story of the summer as we head into a election year in 2026, and that is the issue of maps, legislative maps, congressional maps, states having the ability to redraw their maps anytime they want, but it has to be based off of the most recent census, and they can draw those lines however. But obviously in Texas, you got Republicans looking to give Republicans in Congress more seats by redistricting Texas ahead of the 2026 election, and Texas Democrats not for it. Well, the rhetoric continues to heat up, and the Democrats continue to flee Texas and going to states like Illinois, where they held another news conference yesterday. But a lot of reaction from all over the place, including President Donald Trump. So these are just some of the things we're going to tackle in this next segment. I do want to quickly just give you an update. I looked at some of the status of cases that we've been following. And it looks like not much activity in the gun ban case. We're still waiting on the briefs to be filed, the final briefs in that case. You've also got the oral arguments that are set for September 22nd up in Chicago with the 7th Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals. So still status quo, right? Not much has changed in the way of the gun ban case, and we're still anticipating those oral arguments. You've also got the Schoenthal case that still has not been fully resolved. That Schoenthal case being the one that challenges the state's prohibition of concealed carry on mass transit. Again, that case, it's in the appeals court, and the appeals court made a ruling asking for more briefs. So even after oral arguments, they had to come back and say, we still need some more briefs filed. So we'll keep an eye on what happens with the concealed carry ban on mass transit case does. A couple of other cases that we're watching, of course, the case about Illinois' migrant sanctuary status and the DOJ's case against the state of Illinois, Cook County and Chicago. That was dismissed, but without prejudice, allowing for the DOJ to file another amended brief by, I believe, August 22nd. So you've got that case still ongoing as well. So I just wanted to give you just a brief status update on those cases because, it's a lot of people are interested in what's going on there, but we still have yet to see exactly how it's going to play out. But we'll definitely be on top of that. All right, it's Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and wake up with us each and every weekday morning as we continue to cover the story of the summer, redistricting. And are Republicans going to redistrict Texas to get more Republicans in the seats in Congress? And are Democrats in states like Illinois going to redistrict to counter that? And how much more can Illinois really redistrict? I don't know if they can gerrymander anymore. But we'll see. Obviously, it's going to be an ongoing story. All right, it's right here with Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Wake up with us each and every weekday morning here for more Illinois in Focus Daily.
Again, let me repeat, Donald Trump is a cheater. So is Governor Greg Abbott. And Texas Republicans are carrying out their will.
Look, a lot of these states, I watched this morning as Democrats are complaining, and they're complaining from states where they've done it, like in Illinois.
And that's Governor J.B. Pritzker, followed by President Donald Trump, talking about redistricting. And the president seeming to be very aware of the redistricting and gerrymandering in Illinois. It's Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Wake up with us each and every weekday morning. We've been talking about this now all week, and that is the issue of Texas Democrats fleeing the state of Texas to not vote on legislative redistricting maps that Texas is looking to possibly give Republicans in Congress.
Let me tell you something, though. You heard it from the governor.
Hold on a second. Get to that in a moment. The Texas Republicans are wanting to give Republicans in Congress a few more seats, possibly up to 5 seats. If you go to the centersquare.com and the Texas page, you will see the headlines that Texas House convenes on Tuesday. Again, no quorum. Only 94 members present in that Texas legislature. And the Solicitor General filing requests with the Texas Supreme Court as the Attorney General there is vacationing in Europe. Interesting headline there. But Abbott, the governor, he files an emergency petition to remove one of the Texas legislative leaders from office. And what that's going to look like. So you've got some of those headlines there you can pick up at thecentersquare.com on the Texas page. But of course, with the Texas Democrats coming to Illinois, you've got Governor J.B. Pritzker again for a second day in 3 days, because they had a Sunday evening news conference with Texas Democrats arriving in Illinois. And then yesterday, early in the morning, they had yet another news conference where they had Ken Martin, the DNC chair, talk about the situation and blasting what he says was Republicans abusing their power in Texas.
Let me tell you something, though. You heard it from the governor. Democrats are fighting back. We're not rolling over. And I've been saying to these Texas Republicans, if you want a showdown, well, you're going to get a showdown. And here it is right now here in Illinois. Unlike Texas Republicans, who held just one hearing on flood response, but 8 hearings on rigging maps, Texas Democrats are doing their damn jobs. They're standing up for the Constitution. They're standing up for the democracy. They're standing up for the voices of their constituents. There is nothing more American than calling out corruption, blasting bullies who seek to harm others, and defending democracy and the will of the voters. We are here on the eve of the 60th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act to once again stand up for fairness and justice. Because just as the icons of the civil rights movement marched, protested, and got into good trouble, just as Dr. King and Fannie Lou Hamer and John Lewis fought to ensure that Americans could access the ballot regardless of the color of their skin, so too are these courageous Texas House Democrats standing up and fighting back against a racial gerrymandering scheme to disenfranchise Black and Latino voters, all to desperately hold on to Congress in the midterms.
Again, this is Ken Martin, a DNC chair.
Governor
And he's there to ultimately stand
Illinois,
with the Democrats.
JB
Sorry, that's J.B. Pritzker on Colbert last night. We'll take a look at some of that. So the governor, speaking of, was there as well with the Texas Democrats, again, on Tuesday morning after Sunday evening, holding a news conference. So yesterday, the governor took aim at Trump and Republicans.
To be in public office right now is to constantly ask yourself, how do I make sure that we're standing on the right side of history? Well, there's a simple answer. The wrong side of history will always tell you to be afraid. And the right side of history will always expect you to be courageous. Texas House Democrats are leading the way in choosing courage and country over politics and party. That's what it means to fight for what's right. And I love this country too. And I love it so much that I'm going to fight for it too, right alongside my heroes, the Texas House Democrats.
So the heroes to Governor J.B. Pritzker in Illinois are the Texas House Democrats, and he says he's going to stand and fight with them. And obviously, you've got the issue of gerrymandering in the state of Illinois that I think many commentators across the country, even on liberal cable news networks, are recognizing that Illinois indeed is one of the worst gerrymandered states in the nation. Here is Pritzker saying that Trump is a cheater.
Again, let me repeat, Donald Trump is a cheater. So is Governor Greg Abbott.
That's right.
And Texas Republicans are carrying out their will. And if they're going to cheat, then all of us have to take a hard look at what the effect of that cheating is on democracy. And that means we've all got to stand up and do the right thing. So as far as I'm concerned, everything is on the table.
Now, what does that mean? Everything's on the table. Is it Illinois coming back to redistrict after Texas redistricts? What would that look like? I mean, Illinois is already deeply gerrymandered. You look at the 13th congressional district Nikki Budzinski's in, and it's like a weird-looking worm snake that engulfs large urban areas, goes up I-55 a little stretch, real thin, and then wraps in like Springfield, Decatur, and some college towns. And so it was specifically drawn to give more Democrat support for that central Illinois district. And then you look at Congresswoman Mary Miller's district. It's massive, but it's like some weird jigsaw puzzle with two pieces put together with a little line between them. You can't really get another textbook definition of gerrymandering, and that's why the Princeton Gerrymandering Project gave Illinois an F. So was that cheating in 2021 when the governor signed that gerrymandered map for Illinois, giving Illinois congressional Republicans 3 out of the 17 seats when Illinois voters had a 45% turnout for President Donald Trump in the most recent election? What's fair, what's not, or is this just the way it is, right? I mean, it is legal. It's not unconstitutional as some of the claims are. States can redraw their maps whenever they want. They have to base it off the census data, but they can redraw the maps whenever they want. So Texas is just doing what Texas can do with the power they have. So reacting to all of this, here in Illinois, you have Illinois State Representative Jed Davis, Republican from Yorkville. And he connected with me yesterday and reacted to the ongoing story of the summer. And that's the impacts of redistricting in Texas and how Democrats across the country are responding to it.
The whole thing is asinine, to say the least. I mean, it's just our governor, Governor Pritzker, is kind of puffing his chest up to try to build up this national presence of protecting freedom, which is the last thing that he actually cares about as a governor here in Illinois. Look at our maps. Like, I can't even believe the irony on this. Just look at the maps in Illinois, even if it's just the congressional maps, and tell me that is not drawn in such a way to rig the outcome of elections. And now you're going to get on a throne and get all pious on what Texas is doing? Like, forget about Texas. How about we worry about our backyard on people that are being crushed by escalating utility costs and property taxes, and get off the national stage and stop pretending like you care because our maps prove otherwise, and actually get to the heart of the people of Illinois and the issues that we're dealing with.
You know, there's a saying that goes, vote with your feet. I guess Texas Democrats are kind of doing that. They're voting with their feet by not being at the legislature to block a quorum so that the new maps don't happen. But in Illinois, a lot of people are voting with their feet. They're getting out of the state. They're moving. We've had continued outbound migration for a complete decade while spending continues to skyrocket in the state of Illinois. I'm not sure how that's sustainable, but we've lost $60+ billion of income from people moving to other states. People are actually moving from New York to Illinois, and people are moving from Illinois to Texas. So an interesting, mix there. Should those Texas Democrats just move to Illinois, and then all of the disgruntled Illinois taxpayers that are sick of the high taxes and the high property, should they just move to Texas? Maybe that'll clear things. I don't know. But the governor does have an event today at 3:00. He's unveiling the butter cow. So we may get his reaction to some of these questions, especially the issue of why is it not hypocritical to complain about gerrymandering from a state that's woefully gerrymandered. But back to the DNC chair, and this is where the rhetoric's starting to ramp up. He said that they're going to fight, and others saying it's a war, and we're talking about knives and guns, and those are some violent images that are being brought up by Democrats.
And as I've said, Democrats are going to fight this tooth and nail, and until the will of the voters is respected. This is not the Democratic Party of your grandfather, which would bring a pencil to the knife fight. This is a new Democratic Party. We're bringing a knife to a knife fight, and we are going to fight fire with fire.
Knife to a knife fight, gun to a gun fight fire with fire. Again, other terms used: war. Congresswoman Crockett using terms like, we're going to beat you down, and so on. This rhetoric's ramping up quite a bit, and it's got some questioning if it's by design. Jed Davis, an Illinois State House Republican, says everybody needs to take a step back here.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. We did a press conference, as you know, with Secretary Noem, and they had people come out just so much anger and violence and right in our face confrontationally. And this is like, what do you expect? This is the rhetoric that our governor is putting out there. People are going to show up. I just wish we could. Oh, and I get kind of worked up over it. And I know even myself get animated. I'm a pretty mellow guy, but I just wish we could sit in a room and really work across the aisle truly, because I think the people of Illinois would win. But none of that stuff happens in Springfield. And it's just a bulldozed one-party platform.
In Illinois, we do have all statewide state seats. Democrats have the supermajority in the Illinois House and the supermajority in the Illinois Senate, so it really is one-party rule. And I don't even think that Republicans have enough seats to do what Democrats in Texas are doing by leaving the floor and not having a quorum. So how's that fair for what is considered fair, not just congressional maps, but state house legislative seats, and as well, because that's also gerrymandered. And don't forget, they also gerrymandered the Illinois Supreme Court districts. Back to Pritzker yesterday morning, standing with Democrats. He was asked again if he's giving any money, how's he supporting these Texas Democrats? Are they staying up in hotels his family owns, or did he help with the jets? Is he cutting checks? What's the governor Pritzker's position on how he's helping support, other than just helping host news conferences?
Well, I know that you're all interested in whether I'm writing checks, to this. Let me be clear. You're saying, of course, but let me be clear. I have stood with the Texas House Democrats. We have been in consultation for weeks and weeks. This possibility was always something that we feared. And I made it clear to them that we'd do everything that we could, logistically and otherwise, to try to support them. I have not written a check or supported them financially, though I am not reticent to do that. but I have not done that. But lots and lots of people around the country have. Lots of people. And you can go to texasdemocrats.com/donate and give money to support this and the efforts of Texas Democrats across the state.
Now we'll hear one more little bit from the governor, because he himself left Illinois yesterday to go to, in New York, where Stephen Colbert has his show. It's going to be off the air soon. We'll get to that in a moment, but somebody else had to chime in on all of this, and that was President Donald Trump. He was at an unrelated news conference yesterday and was asked a question about if Texas goes about changing their maps to give Republicans a boost, and that leads to Illinois and California and other states run by Democrats changing their maps to boost Democrat numbers. Is it worth it down in Texas? Here's the president's response to that question yesterday.
If Texas redrawing their congressional map would get you 5 safe red seats, means that California, New York, Illinois, and Maryland are all going to redraw their maps to add safe.
Well, they'll do it anyway.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, they'll do it anyway. Why? If we stop over there, they would have done it anyway. Look, a lot of these states, I watched this morning as Democrats are complaining, and they're complaining from states where they've done it, like in Illinois, like in Massachusetts. If you look at what's going on with the redistricting, or whatever you want to call it, the Democrats have done it long before we started. They've done it all over the place. They did it in New York. They did it in a lot of different states.
Again, in Illinois, this a prime example of that. So again, this is going to be an ongoing story. We're going to be watching this, obviously, because you got Texas Democrats in Illinois. How long are they going to stick around? Not sure. How long is the governor going to host them? Not sure. Because the governor welcomed him Sunday, held a news conference. I'm sure they talked about stuff Monday, and then Tuesday morning they held another news conference. But the governor took off out of Illinois to go and hang out with Stephen Colbert for a less than 5-minute segment. Here's just a flavor of that was posted on X yesterday.
Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, Governor, and I don't want to, spoil anyone's reputation here. You're a billionaire, okay? Not a very popular thing to be right now.
I'm okay with it.
You're okay with it, I'm sure. You know what? That shows real courage. But
I've got to stand up for my people,
The thing is, you don't have to work anywhere, let alone the government. Being a politician seems like kind of a cruddy job these days. Why do you want to do the job you're doing?
It's a pretty serious question, and I know we're on a show that isn't always that serious, but
or always that funny.
Well, you can watch more of that if you want. I don't want to trip any things to take the show off, but this is reality, right? This is what we're dealing with here, and we'll wake up every morning and get you what you need to know, so you can get on and get to work and support your family and take care of business. All right, it's Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Wake up with us each and every weekday morning here for more Illinois in Focus Daily. A short show, one segment, one issue, but there's a lot more for us to talk about that one issue. And I imagine the governor's got a news conference today where he's going to be unveiling the butter cow at the Illinois State Fair. It officially opens, the State Fair does, Thursday. Then you've got the first weekend of the fair, all the food, all the activities, all the livestock shows. It's going to be a big deal next week. Just a preview, we're going to be at the fairgrounds doing the political days. So I believe Wednesday is when it's Governor's Day, and Democrats will have a breakfast early in the morning off-site, and then they'll go to the fairgrounds for a midday rally where they'll have their political speeches. And then Thursday, you've got Republican Day, where they as well will head to the state fairgrounds, hold a rally with a ton of political speeches. So next week's going to be a lot of talk, and we'll have it all. All right, so just a preview. But today, got to head out to the fairgrounds for Governor J.B. Pritzker unveiling the butter cow. and a lot of off-topic questions are going to be hurled his way. So we'll see what he has to say. I wonder if he's going to be jet-lagged at all from traveling from, Illinois to New York and then back to Illinois. And this is just after he was in North Carolina, and he even traveled to Texas, and a lot of flying around the country. While Illinois, we've got issues here: high taxes, property taxes. You got that fiscal cliff for the transit agencies. You've got the pension issue, the DCFS issue, which we talked about recently. So a lot of things. And we'll be here each morning. So check it out. It's Illinois in Focus Daily. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, get the newsletter in your inbox, and don't forget to get the podcast where you get podcasts. Illinois in Focus Daily.